As Israeli airstrikes intensify in Gaza and Lebanon, the humanitarian crisis deepens. Regional alliances shift and international mediation efforts stall. Meanwhile, with Donald Trump returning to the presidency, speculation is mounting over how US-Russia relations might shift. His unconventional foreign policy approach has experts assessing its potential impact on the Ukraine conflict and American stance towards Russia. But first, let's examine the latest developments in the Middle East. Welcome to In Focus.
منطقة سكنية لا فيها أشياء عسكرية ولا فيها شيء. مثل أول شيء أنا عاجز وبدي أهرب.
In a country of that size, which is relatively small, and a population that's estimated around 5 million people, you can imagine how dramatic it is that over 1 million people are now without shelter and on the move.
The Washington Post has reported that the situation in Gaza has reached unprecedented levels of devastation, especially in the north, where Israeli airstrikes have rendered entire areas unrecognizable. The humanitarian crisis is deepening, with over 100,000 people trapped without food or aid, facing famine and disease. As Israel destroys homes and schools and hospitals, the United Nations have reported that most casualties are women and children. Israeli operations have hampered aid efforts and severely restricted humanitarian access. As Israel expands its military objectives in Gaza and southern Lebanon, the United States continues to push for improved aid access. But after the election of Trump, future US involvement in the conflict can be neither predicted nor guaranteed. And to focus more and provide more analysis regarding the current updates about the latest escalations in the Middle East, joining us from Beirut is Brigadier General Maroon Kharish, a military expert. Welcome, sir. Sir, how do Israel's military operations in Lebanon impact the security of the border region?
على منطقة على لبنان يعني.
You mean it is affected on Lebanon? How it is affected on Lebanon or the rest?
Okay, sir, with reports of Israeli airstrikes targeting rescue teams, what does this suggest about Israel's strategy in southern Lebanon?
The Israeli operations continue to bombing the civilians in all of Lebanon, and the military aims was there is no military aims to the Israeli Dwam, and they are trying to bombing the Lebanon cities in the south and in the areas they targeting the houses.
Okay, sir, if the Israeli army decided to wind down its aggression in Lebanon, what would that cause a shift in Hezbollah's tactical approach?
they bombing the house for the Lebanon judge, and they targeting in Lebanon mountain, and they targeting 5 families from the city. And this family stayed in Gaza in these airstrikes in mountain Lebanon.
Perfect, sir. Given that Netanyahu's position is now stronger with Trump's victory, what do you anticipate in terms of Israel's regional strategy?
What is the aim of this? The aim is unannounced that Israel said behalf the officials that Israel exerted their efforts in military Lebanon, and they will targeting the military Lebanon, and they are trying to make this agreement with Lebanon and pay attention to the Hezbollah and what they happen in this area, and say, look what they affected on Lebanon, and they thinking that the dispute in Lebanon, and they preparing for these matters to be in Lebanon, and it is a civil war.
Okay, sir, what role can regional powers, if any, play in mediating between Hamas and Israel? Sir, what role can regional powers, if any, play in mediating between Hamas and Israel?
Hamas.
Okay, sir, how do you assess Israel's shifting military strategy in both Gaza and southern Lebanon amid escalating airstrikes?
Yeah, in Yemen stands by the Lebanon, also Gaza, sector of Gaza, and it is not a perfect stand with, but it is according to the ceasefire, and it is to pay attention of Israel military to the Yemeni, and they can decrease the airstrikes in Lebanon, and the Hezbollah decided to stand by the Gaza, and this is, from my point of view, the military failure, and in the war's future, this is not an important rule in this attack, and this is not life standby, and it is and they cannot make any solution to the members of these countries, and this cannot be together between Iran and Hezbollah, Syria, Iraq, and Yemen. There is no militaries, and there is some militias continue to take some points from Iran, and it is happening currently in Yemen, and they stole to bombing the ships on the sea, also in the ocean, in Yemeni, in the Bay Arab, and
Sir, thank you very much for your insight, and that was Brigadier General Maron Kharash, a military expert from Beirut. And now let's turn to the potential impacts of Donald Trump's re-election on U.S.-Russia relations and the unfolding dynamics of the Ukraine conflict.
We can fix every single problem our country faces and lead America, and indeed the whole world. This is a magnificent victory for the American people. Promises made, promises kept. We're going to keep our promises. Nothing will stop me from keeping my word to you, the people. We will make America safe, strong, prosperous, powerful, and free again.
A headline in Le Monde reads, "It is unlikely that, for Trump's sake, Russia will abandon the anti-Western axis it seeks to build." While Trump's return could seem like a win for Putin, the dynamics may not shift as swiftly or decisively as some anticipate. The notion that Trump might seal Ukraine's fate in Putin's favor is a simplified view that doesn't fully consider Russia's long-standing anti-Western position and the broader intricate alliances in play. Today we're joined by Dr. Mahmoud Al-Afandi, an esteemed academic and political researcher from Moscow, to explore how a Trump presidency might reshape the US-Russia dynamic and influence the trajectory of the Ukraine war. Dr. Afandi, a very good day. Based, sir, on Trump's past interactions and statements about Russia, how do you think his return to office could change the tone of US-Russia relations?
You mean in all ways, thanks a lot for hosting me today. And the Ukraine now, there is some back steps to military forces in last October. They cannot move toward the Moscow, and we witnessed it, and it is the election line and this the War 2, and in this case we're trying to still, and also the US voted to renew the dispute, and USA its political cannot be there, and they're trying to make a good relations with Russia to continue the dispute with that Ukraine doesn't enter the NATO. And this is what the Western media said, and it is the administration said that they will achieve 20 years, and this cannot be there because the USA cannot continue this dispute. And for the ceasefire of Russia, they cannot be continuing this dispute, and they need to destination and change the diplomatics in this case and be in a demonstration that help Ukraine, because it is the full system to be a good system which stand with Russia, and American elections cannot change anything in this case, because they has no trust in USA regarding President Trump or anything. There is a strategical aim and it is there.
Let's move on to another question, sir, please. Trump has openly admired Putin's leadership and has even suggested direct dialogue. Could this approach bring significant changes to the traditional diplomatic channels between the United States and Russia? Okay, Sir, Trump has openly admired Putin's leadership and has even suggested direct dialogue. Could this approach bring significant changes to the traditional diplomatic channels between the United States and Russia?
There is some changes to Ukraine, not Russia.
Sir, US and Russia, not Ukraine. I did not mention Ukraine, sir.
Trump has a chance now to stop the ceasefire in Ukraine. Because to end this war in 24 hours, because it is impossible, but for Ukraine it is sadness matters, because USA now doesn't want to support Ukraine to another areas, and if we followed this Ukrainian militias in Ukraine, this is one of our aims. So I see in the problem in Ukraine, but in Russia. But Russia has the willingness to negotiate, but will not accept any Russian matters. President of Ukraine can still accept the Russians' rules, and it will continue to January for the next year. Trump can stress in this ceasefire, and the problem in this country will accept the rules or Trump decisions, and it is a big question, but I see it is an important situation, because Ukraine wanted to change to another country.
Sir, the America's First doctrine under Trump raises questions about the U.S. commitment to alliances like NATO. Do you believe Trump's potential stance on NATO might alter the current unified front against Russian actions in Ukraine?
The war in Ukraine but some war in South Korea and Iran, and this is NATO working in a good way, and collaborations, military collaboration in this country. It is obviously now in USA and the USA has new challenges, and how they will save this and entering with the new countries, and how it will be in a good military solution with another country, and they will be responsible about that. USA will be responsible, and Europe should to increase their income to be in a good situation. But NATO and Trump, how will save this in a good way? And now Russia, Korea, China, and Iran, how they can continue with the collaboration with the USA. President Trump wanted to make a friendship with Russia and make Ukraine far away. But the challenges is a big toward the USA president, and if he pay attention about this, at the end it will help the European Union. They may be an obstacle in this situation, because they still supporting the situation. The USA and Trump can be responsible about these changes and facing these problems. So the president of USA should to approve the world changes, and is in a developing step. And they need to say that they failed in this.
Dr. Mahmoud Al-Afandi, thank you very much for sharing your insights into how Trump's administration could reshape the future of the United States and Russia relations and the trajectory of the Ukraine conflict. Russia has announced the capture of 6 additional settlements in Ukraine over the past week as tensions persist along frontline areas. In its weekly briefing, the Russian Defense Ministry stated that its forces launched 38 targeted attacks using precise guided weapons and drones. These strikes reportedly focused on Ukrainian military-industrial sites, energy facilities, military airports, and locations tied to the production and storage of military drones. The governor of Odessa Oblast in southwestern Ukraine has reported that Russian drones targeted the Black Sea port of Odessa overnight, leaving 1 person dead and 13 others injured. This marks the 2nd consecutive day of drone strikes on the city, with extensive damage to residential apartments, private homes, commercial buildings, and dozens of cars. According to the Ukrainian Air Force, Russia launched 51 drones, focusing attacks on Odessa and nearby areas in southern Ukraine. Ukrainian air defense units and mobile drone hunter teams successfully intercepted and shot down 32 of the drones. EU Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell has reaffirmed Europe's steadfast support for Ukraine days after Donald Trump's election raised questions over the future of US backing. During his visit to Kyiv, the first by a senior EU official since Trump's win, Borrell emphasized the EU's commitment to Ukraine as its war with Russia nears the 1,000-day mark. He highlighted that the EU has contributed to 122 billion euros in military and financial aid and trained around 60,000 Ukrainian soldiers, aiming to expand that number to 75,000 by winter's end. That wraps up our episode today for In Focus. Remember to stay updated by following Q News on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram and TikTok at Q News Egypt. And for the latest developments, you watch the live stream. Thank you very much for watching and stay tuned for more coming up here on Q News.